Hey everybody, we have a Bentley here today, and it's a previous story that has been continued today. But I think you know what we're talking about here is a white Bentley that's been parked for over a year in a parking lot. After the winter, for some reason, they forgot to wash it. And I've shown you what, or rather, what this Bentley has become. But now we've washed it, and well, actually, we've started to clean it up. And I'd like to show you what we have after the wash. On the one hand, the view in some places became more beautiful, better. On the other hand, the view became worse. But in general, in fact, there is nothing terrible, because before washing the car looked, of course, more terrible, but now some problems have been added. Now, I'll explain to you where the lights have gone. I think this is the first question that came up for you because it's very eye-catching. But for those who haven't seen the first video, I suggest you take a look. In a nutshell, 2010 Bentley Continental GT, limited edition, 51 series. Actually quite such an unusual car just for fans of this brand because it is such a good limited edition. Which is different in terms of equipment. What do we see now on the clean car? We see that the muffler nozzles have been irretrievably lost. There's nothing we can do about them. They'll have to be replaced. The headlights have been removed so we can take them to a repair shop. Wheel rims also need repair, but pay attention, it is like on the AMG version, that polished aluminum covered with lacquer. Under the lacquer gets moisture, well, and then you get this ugly. Here you see also corrosion. There is also corrosion here around the mouldings. There are light sandblasts here, which also began to bloom a little bit. But the interesting thing is that the body is galvanized. But again, you see, here is such a story that we have a car in the film, but the film is very, very old. But here we can draw a conclusion. In general, is the film a good thing or not a good thing? Because on the one hand, it protects. On the other hand, if it is punctured and dirt gets under it, it turns out to be nonsense, as you can see. And this piece of chrome molding, it can't be saved 100%. Pay attention, these are Moscow reagents. People not from Moscow often ask questions. What is this? Well, here I show you. But you see, part of the rust has moved to the lower part of the wing. Well, this moulding most likely cannot be saved either because it is in such a dismal state. But it's just a car that hasn't been washed and put in a parking lot. You know, there's humidity, there's an unnecessary microclimate. And in principle, as far as I understand that for a normal car in a clean state, it is also such a controversial issue. Well, if the car is dirty, this is just a tutorial on how not to do it and what it can lead to. This grille here. It was originally chrome, as far as I understand. Now it's like a matte aluminum. Right here on the hood, it's very ugly looking. It's got this blown film. When you take it off, after cleaning the dirt, you don't know what will be under it. Because I understand that if some grains of sand got there, there is a possibility that the paintwork will also be damaged. Well, let's have a look at the right-hand side. There's this 51 series emblem right here. There's rust all around it. Well, this is where the fender needs to be painted too. The moulding on the front is small, not salvageable. The big one on the door, I don't think it's very good either. Well, by the way, the brake calipers are working properly. That's not bad, because the look of them is so oxidized. There's some stains on the fender, but that's dirt. That's not bad either, in that it's at least washable. The washing was not super thorough, but so, for repair work in this situation, we are engaged in technology. Quite an acceptable story. But the interesting thing is, here's the contrast. I've shown you this before, but now in the daylight it looks really good. Yes. And how do you like the combination of interior, black with orange-brown? I don't know how the colouring is called, but it really looks very noble. With all this black wood, such royal lacquer. It looks really cool because it is all natural. There is a smell of leather, a smell of wood, but in aggregate we get Bentley. In general, summarizing the above, do not leave a dirty car in the parking lot, especially for such a long period of time. It is better to wash it. But also the second moment, the film after it is damaged, also so bad story, because under the film begins the formation of some foreign, in general suspensions, which grows then into trouble on the body. Of course, if the colour of the car was some other colour, not white, it would probably be different. But on white, everything is very well visible. And there's a film here, and there's a problem with that too. But you see, just what I was talking about on white colour, everything shows up very well. But in fact, everything is correctable. But again, if it hadn't happened at the start, then maybe we wouldn't have shot this video. You wouldn't have seen it. But that's the story. These are the unfortunate lights, but it's a disease of all coupes, not just the oldest ones, but the newer ones as well. But where there are diodes, there's a problem. But in the Bentley lights, water gets in and then the whole thing fails. I'll take them to the repair shop tomorrow and I'll show you how much it cost. But so for comparison, a hole here is such a lantern costs in the neighbourhood of €1,000. New respectively at the current exchange rate is 100 with a penny thousand rubles. Well, of course, you have to fight to repair them. But once again, a little later, I will show you how it all ended. Well, for today we have probably everything. Right questions, I'll try to answer them all. Well, I'm off to work and you're welcome to watch.